going to be quick, very quick. Like he just comes out like a shark.
He invokes the tilting aspect of the room to actually throw you off your game. So when you go in for that hit, he just manages to turn the room just slightly more. So you graze him, but the force is it's just not enough to make the contact. He is now spinning the room even faster. The blades are sharp, but they have a flat. So you could kick yourself off of an emerging blade to rebound and land that hit. Just your determination, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's 2 fate points. You're down. It's a rough one. So you land that hit. You manage to sock him, but it's not hard enough to stop what he's doing. It's enough to make him mad. Before he can actually react to that and counterattack, Tara or Katy, do you have anything? Or Harvey Knuckle. Harvey, you're in this situation too. It's interesting, actually. You're a spin user, so this actually may be kind of your wheelhouse.
I would say he's probably been doing pretty well. And once the chair wasn't a viable option, he probably just kind of hopped up with his drink and went to finish it as the room started to keep spinning.
So you're just drinking comedically and avoiding the death machine that is like whirring up here.
He's just like like Inception, like just walking with it as it's like a hamster wheel kind of shit.
Nice, very good. So you're doing that. Katy, you have probability powers. You could probably use them to avoid getting bladed to death right now if you want.
Yeah, I was actually
It's up to you.
thinking maybe before everyone cleared the room, she grabbed someone and tried to like negotiate for their gun.
I will say that gun that guy dropped earlier, it's just sliding around on the ground.
Alright, well she's gonna use her probability to go for it. Could that be negotiating? Because it's sort of like negotiating the terrain.
Fuck it, yeah, just go with negotiating. Okay, with the 2, yeah, I'll say you're able to get the gun and avoid getting bladed right now because the room isn't spinning. Right now, I'd say it's at a passive opposition of 2 to avoid getting cut, but it'll go up every single turn. So you have your gun now. That's your turn of action. You could be just taking aim at the moment. What is Tara's boar gonna do?
Gonna see this as a threat to her and put her on his back, and then go for instinct, go straight for the source of this thing. At least try to.
The guy's stand is kind of sunk in halfway into the floor with its hands laid out on the surface of the floor as the room is turning. It's likely that is the source.
Then the boar's stand will probably come out, and it'll probably look a little like I guess a mastodon kind of thing.
Okay.
And just charge with its big old tusks and try to impale it. What?
You're -1. You could use a fate point if you want to re-roll that. What are you going to invoke to re-roll it? Just as an example, the room is tilting. You could say you're using the momentum of the room, trying to use it in your favor, trying to readjust. Or an aspect that you can add to your character right now if you want.
She'll probably use the momentum of the room. The boar will.
The 5, much better roll. The 2, his stand, concentrating on keeping the room rolling, just can't get out of the way of that gore. You managed to land it on him. Are you going for what? The head, the neck, just chest, anything?
It'll probably go for the chest.
The man that you're fighting, Brisket, you see a gout of blood begin to pour out of his chest as his stand is wounded by the boar that has struck it.
So when he sees that, let's just say he's standing on one of those blades right now that have stuck out. He's gonna straight laugh in his face and be like, "Ah, you bitch getting fucked up by an animal."
He's gonna look at you when you say that and then make the most twisted in anger face you've probably ever seen a person make, and then really speed up the room. Now it is a passive opposition of 3. You are being spun, so your power attacks are not going to be advisable in this situation. You might want to go for speed or precision.
As it goes faster, while in the middle of laughing, he's gonna be like, oh shit! And almost fall over. But what he's going to do is his stand's going to come out 7th wave, and they're going to try and dive back into the floor.
His lower torso that's submerged into the floor is spread out. It's like dispersed
like
because
he's
kind of, yeah.
As he dives in, he feels the blades coming. He's just kind of dodging them, and he's going to go for the stand. And if anyone's watching, I'm assuming it's the boar and Tara at this point because they're probably behind the bar. They'll just see 2 large, like, fucking meaty jello fists come out, and one of them's gonna uppercut the stand, like just uppercut him right in the jaw. Ooh.
It does connect, but bracing itself against the floor, it headbutts your fist, sending like kind of a ripple of force through your body that you can feel through your stand, the empathic link that you have. The stand is holding on. It seems like it's pretty injured from that gore attack. The man too. You can see him actually taking out of his coat a Molotov cocktail. Let's light this up. And then he does indeed light it with a lighter and throw it into the room as it's spinning. The blades whip right through this bottle and start spraying fire everywhere. So on top of now the fire and the blades, like it's all just going around in a circle. The fire is catching on a lot of different surfaces. The temperature in the room does begin to increase. Katy, what are you gonna do? You could run along as the room turns though and try to aim. You have the ability to predict probability. It seems like you could multitask pretty well.
First, I have to do that roll to see if I'm even being successful at navigating this. Oh shit.
You want to re-roll that with a fate point?
Gonna have to, I think. I'm gonna invoke manual labors for chumps, and she's trying to like do an ease kind of like cruise control instead of like overthinking it. Oh man.
You can use another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You could invoke. My reputation is on the line. How dare you? You don't want to look like an idiot in front of your sister's boyfriend.
Super true. She doesn't. One fate point left. That's rough. Gonna go for that gunshot. All right, let's gamble. Damn.
You whiff, but you don't die getting bladed or burned at least. So like through the fire and flames, through the blades and the spinning bar, you manage to survive. The shot is really hard to make though, and this is probably not a situation you expected to have this evening. So can't blame you for that. What's the boar going to do now? Because it's a pretty dangerous situation for a little pig. The pig can knock you out of the way if you get in trouble. So just go ahead and give me we'll say 40F plus 3 is a fine roll for this. You're going to have to dump a fate point or else you are going to take damage from this.
Yeah, I'll dump a fate point for that. Since the boar is extra protective, that's what he's focusing on. Our protection more than anything.
You should probably add it to your sheet. Bodyguard. I don't know. You managed to survive the spinning fire attack. What do you want to actually do for an attack?
Kind of want to create an advantage, like impaling it and keeping it on the tusks.
You do manage to pin it, so the next roll against the stand or the user gets a +2. All the bottles that were being thrown off of the shelves have been cracked and broken and cut up by the blades. And so the fire from the Molotov cocktail is now catching on the liquor that was poured. In other words, you're now in a very, very hot environment. Fire is everywhere. Now the passive roll is a 4 to beat, to not take damage from these rolling blades and all the fire.
Spinning on fire room with flaming liquor flying everywhere.
Yeah.
He is going to come up out of the floor. Let's get this dodge out of the way, right?
You got your roll speed against a 4. So you want to re-roll that?
I think I'll just take the damage. He'll just get cut.
It is 3 stress.
As he comes up, let's just say a blade like cuts him across the chest. He ignores it for now because he's focused on what he's doing. Blood flies out of him. But what he's going to do is he's going to grab this dude by the neck. And his stand's going to come out of his back and grab him by the head. And then he's going to pull him down. If the floor is really solid like he thinks he is, he's just going to smash his head on the solid floor. And if not, he's going to pull his head under.
Go for an attack roll with a +2, or a +3 actually. So a 9. Oh boy. He's not going to beat that.
Yeah, I want to slam it as hard. I want this to be like a real heavy fucking head blow.
He has a consequence on him now, pretty significant one. You split his head wide open. His face is just covered in blood. It was a pretty heavy hit. He's dizzied. Fuck. No diggity. Burn him alive. When he says that, no diggity actually starts to slow the room down so that the liquor isn't flying and instead pouring, like very carefully and purposefully. Like no diggity actually starts tilting the room, almost like he's trying to lead you guys into the blades and the fire if you've been avoiding it.
When he comes up, he gets air and then tries to go back under.
Before you get back under, he is going to try and grab you. You got to beat a 6.
If I use a fate die to +2 and I have the +1 from the heat of the room, could I pass that?
Yeah, what are you invoking?
He's used to fighting dirty like this, hit and run, mocking them while he does it. This is how he fights. This is what he does.
You manage to evade his grasp before he can grab onto you and probably deliver some kind of attack, putting you at 1 fate point, I believe, and he's pretty significantly damaged.
As he dodges his grip, he just goes, oh, whoopty-doodles. And then he's just under.
Katy, this is a really hard room to avoid getting hit in now. The room is spinning in such a way that it doesn't line up with the exit corridor.
Oof. First of all, I have to do that whole dodging.
You gotta
room
dodge,
dance, right?
yeah, you gotta dodge a 5.
All right.
Do it.
Wow.
You managed to do it. Yeah, nice. Using your predictive abilities, your analyst skills, you're able to negotiate your way through the blades, the fire, everything. Probability is on your side. You can take an action now against this guy. He is very weak. What do you want to do?
So from her momentarily safe position, she's gonna take aim at this guy and just shoot at his cracked head. I'm gonna invoke my lost fate point. I'm just gonna invoke everyone wants something and everything has a price. This guy's attempt to kill us all is a high cost.
It hits. You hear the clang of a metal plate. You can see he had a metal plate on his head, on his skull. Probably why Brisket didn't knock him out that time. But the exposed flesh, the fact that he's put off balance by the boar, getting him in the chest, all of it combines to create that one perfect moment where you are able to shoot him right in the right spot on the skull to KO him. He passes out standing up, and the room just comes to a very sudden halt.
When it does that, you just see Brisket fly out of the floor. Like, he didn't intend this. The change of momentum just kind of crashes against some bottles or something. He's like, ah!
Yeah, the boar is probably reverting back to its small, little, cute size.
The room is on fire still, and smoke is everywhere. Jason Valley appears unharmed, unflustered, not in any way burned or bloodied. He's just standing there with his drink still in hand. Oh, that took a while.
Katy definitely takes note of this guy. She's just kind of staring at him, crossed. But then after a little bit, she gets scared.
Tara's kind of like getting away, like standing far away.
She's just gonna go run over and see if Mr. Jr. is okay.
Yeah, that's where Tara's heading to.
So Mr. Jr. was knocked out early by a chair that flew into his head, and his body has just been ragdolled just around the room. But somehow his tie is cut. He's got cuts on his arms and legs, but doesn't look like much blood has been drawn. He's just been getting tossed around like a toy in a dryer.
Oh no. Oh, Alkasha's gonna kill me. She starts smacking his face furiously. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Brisket
Yeah.
kind of coughs, like there's smoke coming out of his mouth when he coughs, because there's smoke in the room. He's like, picking himself up. He's all right. He'll be fine. Just let him walk it off. Yeah.
Walk it off?
Yeah, just get his ass up. Get him out.
Okay, and Tara's kind of just helping Katy just try to shake him awake.
While they do that, he's going to go over to Jason and kind of like go, did you see me whoop his ass? Told you they ain't just stories.
I did. That was good work.
Yeah, it could have been better, though. He kind of rubs at the cut on his chest. Not quite deep enough to actually truly injure him or threaten his life, but it is bleeding.
You put in all that hard work. You should take your prize.
Yeah. And then he looks to the, I guess, knocked out man with his head busted open and blood everywhere.
That's right. What do you know about alchemy, friend?
I know there's a show about it where some old wizard man, he did some stuff. I guess it's a cartoon. I don't know, equivalent exchange or some bullshit.
Would you like a demonstration of how it actually works?
Ooh, that sounds fun. Well, you mean wizardry is real? Brisket could be a wizard?
Indeed. You could be the most powerful wizard there ever was.
Oh, yeah, Brisket gonna cast fireballs, y'all. Magic missile. Well, how we do this?
All you need to do is take something from him, an aspect of his being. You have to really think about it with your stand. Open yourself up to the possibility and simply reach in and take what you want.
Lean over the bar, right? He's gonna get on it, lean over it, pull the man up. He's going to hold him up by his collar, letting his head kind of dangle to the side, and he's going to focus real hard on the guy. See if he can, suss out what this guy's talking about.
If you follow his advice, and because this is probably not that crazy for someone with a liquid sort of understanding of power, his essence ripples slightly when you try to concentrate on what Jason Valley just told you. It's like you could, if you focused, reach in and take one of the glittering qualities that are within him, these points of power, almost like he's a constellation, and you could pluck one of the stars out of him.
And that's exactly kind of what he does. Like, if anyone's watching, they would just see his hand just go into the man and then pull out this little strand of light.
So you guys can see this. You see Brisket pull something bright and shiny out of this guy. The man is passed out, but it looks like his stand kind of wavers and weakens and then just vanishes entirely.
Brisket doesn't even seem to care. He just kind of looks at the stand disappear and goes, yeah, serves you right, you son of a bitch.
Brisket is weird slightly in ways that are kind of imperceivable but obvious almost. He was already weird before. Something about him's a little bit weird now.